I've thought about some sort of quiz in the past. I just haven't had a good enough idea to what would make it unique. But there was one idea I had where there was a hack for like Paper Mario where they ran it through 7 Google Translates. So I thought maybe that could be fun, but I haven't. Yeah, Book of Mario. But I hadn't got that working. Also, Paper Mario is actually a very hard game to work with. There was going to be a Paper Mario challenge last year, and last minute it didn't. There were some graphical problems, so it didn't come together. So yeah. So here are the challenges we had this year. Let's see. So we started here. We had this one where a big new thing this year was we didn't have to have just like a challenge and a bonus. We could actually have 2 separate challenges. So this was me testing with that. So having one where Kirby is the one on the diet and DDD is the one on the diet. So that was just me fiddling around with that. This was the one I mentioned where I used a level editor to change Super Castlevania 4 a little bit. This is a tradition where I want to have one Mario Party game every year. So this year it's a weird collection of buttons you have to push while also watching Mario fly. So, get both halves of your brain going. I replaced the Mario 64 challenge that most people found impossible last year, where there was a star in a very hard to reach place, and I replaced it with a red coin challenge. But there is still a hidden star somewhere in there, so maybe I've seen 1 or 2 people find it. So maybe hunt around a little more and see if you can find where that star is. This was the one I mentioned where I just wanted more people to try out Boktai, so I forced that to be a challenge. And then I was just in the middle of doing some other work, and I had a sudden flash of inspiration for Super Puzzle Fighter, just because I always thought that game was really interesting. So now, with a few modifications, it's much easier to get a giant gem, which is the dream of anyone who plays that game. So if you've ever wanted to see how big of a gem you can get, this challenge makes it a little easier for you. And then the big one I did this year was the big Sonic Across the Multiverse challenge. I just got really lucky and found a lot of games that Sonic could be in. There was even Super Mario World, but since I had Super Mario 1 and I just felt that one worked a little better, so I stuck just to that and the 4 other ones that I was able to get working. And a development sort of thing is always be open for your ideas to change if you start working on something. This challenge was originally just going to be Super Sonic and a bunch of different games. But as I started researching, I realized most games, Super Sonic is just like the end game final boss. It's not actually playable during the games. So I decided to pull it back and just have it in Sonic 1, 2, and 3, and instead have him going across the multiverse for the rest of the challenge. So it just, you never go in knowing exactly what you're going to do, but as soon as you start working, the final picture starts to take shape.
I'll go over mine, but mine are pretty simple this year because I spent most of my time recreating the entire challenges system from scratch this year to support some cool stuff coming up next year. Yeah. So if you notice, like, we have the projectors and stuff, it's very different. We're working on getting other computers up. That's why I'm late to my own panel, because I spent all night trying to get some scanners working. But we have this SMB1, just get the mushroom. This is just straight out of a ROM hack made by made by Not Sure. This is just another SMB1. I don't know why I got 2 SMB1s. Usually I end up with like a bunch of SMW stuff, but this time it was SMB1. You just gotta jump over the shell. It's real easy. This is from Zelda 2. I've always wanted to do something in a classic Zelda, but it's hard to find. I was watching someone play the Zelda 2 like remaster on PC, which is like really nice actually. And some of the bosses have been enhanced, and like I remember, I think you fight 2 of these guys or something? I was like, well, I want to do something with that. So yeah, and then is that all I have? Did I just have 3?
Yeah, just those ones.
Man.
But we also had one other new team member, and he seemed to really like the classic arcade games. So he's.
Oh, hi. Hey.
Hey.
Hello. Welcome to MAGFest.
Yeah, so we have a couple classic arcade ones this time too, which isn't one of my specialties, so it's always nice to just have more people and get more perspectives on what their favorite things were and ways to enhance them as well. So, the more faces we get, the more challenges everyone else at MAGFest is going to get. And it really is just something amazing to just go down and see people both having fun and getting frustrated at the things you make, because you feel all the effort and hours you put into it just going into people having a good time.
Yeah, so Kyle here, who's up here in the front row, he gave us asteroids, right? Is that what this is? Yeah. A Space Invaders one, and then a Bubble Bobble challenge, which I've been wanting to do a Bubble Wobble challenge for a while. It's hard to find. Oh, and a Robotron. Yeah. You got anything else? What else do you want to say? Is there anyone you show? Does anyone think any of them are like impossible, or does anybody want to tip on any of them?
For the Mario 64 slide one, there's like one black coin at the top of the beginning. I literally have like no idea.
Here, I'll show you how to do that one. It's not too. Yeah, I've seen some people doing some tricky wall jumps, and it works most of the time. But there's a pretty consistent one. This is also Mario 64 has one of the biggest modding scenes out there. So this has like 5 mods on it. Like the one that instantly loads Mario in the level on console start. It removed the HUD. It did all sorts of various things. But here, I'll show you all how I do it normally. Let's see. Okay, God, it's delayed. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Oh yeah. Okay, let me see. Just like that. Yeah, I played. There was a Mario 64 mod I played where they put new stars everywhere, and one of them was up there. So it got me various ideas for things to do and weird movement you can do with Mario in this game. So just a little help there.
I know people hate the playing Mario on a D-pad, but I actually love watching people struggle with it.
Yeah,
it's great.
I broke the DS one, which is the DS.
Oh, is it really?
I played the DS one as well.
Okay.
I also have a great idea. You could do Kirby 64 and then have someone try to beat a level with one of the crappy abilities, like the melting ice block, the one where you throw the bomb and like you have to use your helmet or it'll just blow up in your face.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty good idea. I liked Kirby 64, so yeah.
There's a challenge trope that hasn't been done yet, which is like air juggling something for a certain amount of time, and that I have a whole, like, if I look at like at MAGFest we use Slack for like our internal communication. If you look at my DMs to myself, it is just random challenge ideas of things or like half thought up ideas, and I have like juggling challenge as one of them. So maybe Kirby 64, maybe I can do something there.
I have a good level in mind. There's a shard in one lava level where you need an ice power up to shatter the floor, and melting ice block counts, but getting through it is an absolute pain.
Yeah.
So that might be a good one, is get to the shard and melt it with the ice block.
Yeah, I mean, like, that sounds like a pretty easy idea, and you might even be able to make that yourself. It's just finding the game, getting the save state, and then just looking for kind of what in the memory says if Kirby's died, lost his power, or gotten the crystal, and that's all you need. Once.
See, I wasn't joking. Wait, what was that? What was it, Kirby 64?
Yeah, the Kirby 64, I don't remember which level it is, but there's one where it's like a volcano level and you need an ice power to shatter the floor. And yeah, melting ice block, the ice block part counts.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's World 3 at the bare minimum.
Yeah.
But I have enough to play, I just know it's like World 3.
And juggles.
If you thought I was joking, I was not. Yes.
So, you know, like one of the F-Zero GX capsule, which is like pretty much just speed, where you gotta keep going and it's on the pace or else you will die.
Mm-hmm.
But if we take that concept, apply to one of the F-Zero courses on the SNES or one of the GBA games, that could be ideal.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't make it a challenge have like ice physics and whatnot.
All the big brain ideas are coming through.
I know, right?
Yeah, and like I said, the more you could test it yourself at home just to make sure it is a fun idea, and then you could even start trying to develop it yourself, and then when people play it, they'll see your name that you worked on it, and they can vent all their rage right at you. But since
I was still my wage.
yeah. So I just wanted to show, so this is the emulator we're using, just if you wanted to look it up yourself. It's called BizHawk. It allows you to, pull up the tools, so you can just search through the memory. Oh, yeah. We also have a script that says leave the game on top no matter what, but just put this over. So yeah, so this is like literally all the numbers that make up the memory. I'm gonna try to full screen it. The game's gonna. So you know, to most people, it's just gonna be a bunch of numbers. You don't know what they're doing or what they're used for. But like I said, as soon as you know, like, well, I know this number's going up, so let me look for a number going up. And there's a bunch of useful search tools that help you look through this memory to find what you need.
Have you ever used a Game Shark Pro as a kid, or like for Nintendo 64 or PlayStation? It's very similar.
I'd recommend on your first, like, if you do want to learn the basics of this, start with a Nintendo game. They have the smallest memory and the least amount of places you need to search in order to find what you're looking for. The more advanced the console gets, the bigger the memory size and memory values get. So that's why the N64 ones, there usually aren't as many crazy memory changes. It's usually more level editing or just looking for specific states. But for ones like this, where it was an arcade game, I am able to do things where, in this one, I'm modifying how often the diamond gem comes as one of your colors. But I also wanted to show something that was really funny in this game, if I can find it. So in most games, all the data is kind of abstracted away, where, like, you know, to a normal person, if you're just looking through the memory, it all looks like just numbers and data. But if I can get, if it lets me get to where I want,
Probably not.
yeah. Basically, I found in the memory, you can see an exact picture of the game board. So like when a person's dropping a gem in the memory, it's actually visible that you can see the gems falling.
You can do it now.
Okay, let me see if I can find it in the code real fast. I remember.
AB00.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Let me just make it a little easier to see, and then I'll hit play on the game so you can see. So yeah, I was just looking, because for this challenge I needed to know when, like, the players had the various squares and shapes and colors. So I was just like, I'm sure it's stored somewhere here in memory. And then I was like, oh, I didn't expect to find the whole game board, like, where you could see the numbers updating as you lay down each color. So that made it way easier to start. And then I realized even, like, when it makes the like gem shapes, it changes the numbers to very recognizable ones. So my code just is kind of looking for those specific numbers, so that way I can tell, has the player made an actual gem or not yet. Let's see. Oh, well.
You can actually see like the things falling. That's
Yeah, no, and just most games don't have the data this clear, so it was just very funny to me while I was working on this project. So I just thought that was interesting, and you'll find little oddities like that in the memory. But yeah, so just sometimes the fun of working in old games is you just find little quirks the developers put in and little things to help out. Also, you can go to, again, if it's a popular enough game, you can search Google for the name of the game and then RAM map, and that might give you a lot of help as well. I have made a lot of challenges inside of Ocarina of Time, and they have a very extensive, like, this is how you know how many items Link has, this is how many, upgrades he has, and you can just modify the memory in real time to get exactly what you need or get him in the room you need. So, like, I got a request from him. It's like, hey, can you put Link in Ganondorf's final fight real fast? And I was like, sure, give me like 5 minutes. And so I gave Link all the items he needed and then warped him straight to the room instead of needing to play a 15-hour game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
So how open would you be to challenges that aren't mods of old games, but rather new games?
Yeah, I'm a fan. Yeah.
We gotta do that sometime.
Yeah.
What's the collaboration we had here?
We have
I think it's tricky to make them when the game's newer and more complicated.
Yeah, the main, for right now, the main thing would be that it needs to run inside of BizHawk just because all of our code kind of runs off that.
Really?
Yeah, just because we need, like,
So
we could expand. That's just then another feature request.
we have one challenge type. So
Yeah.
basically, if your program can output a file after as the result, and I can read it, that's all that's needed.
Okay.
We can figure it out from there.
So Tim does, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I run this Swatch team here.
Oh yeah.
So the unspoken question here is, what if we take a Swatch game and shim that into challenges somehow, which is not a mod of anything, but you do have full source and you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
You don't need a RAM map, then you're just
Mhm.
the program.
Yeah. Yeah, the like maybe a cleaned up version of the emulator could work or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, how would people control it? Would they?
It accepts drift but
Yeah, they have an emulator. It's like do I have it? No, I don't have it on this.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, no,
GitHub if you want.
Yeah.
yeah, just send us a message on Slack and we'll see what we can get going.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
I got another challenge idea, and this like involves the Final Fantasy series. Like, Gilgamesh, like he's trying to be on like Final Fantasy 5 or not, but like majority of the GBA games, he doesn't appear on them. I feel like a boss rush challenge when you go through all the Gilgamesh.
RPGs are a little hard because it's a lot of like math. Like, what makes it hard? Is it the fact that if the boss hits you, you die? Is it that you have to know exactly what item or what spell to do? It just comes down to how much does the player need to intuit versus how much can they just figure out by experimentation. Yeah, and you don't ever want a challenge to have too much luck. There is a little bit of luck in that puzzle fighter because the colors are randomized, but I played it enough times that I felt, that you could get around the luck. But if the whole thing is just like, oh, well,
Wait for him to miss.
yeah, if you just have to wait for a boss to miss, then that's not much of a challenge. That's just a casino.
So Baxter kind of did one similar with Mega Man with Timeline of Guts.
Yeah.
So like every
That's why it came to mind. when I was
Yeah.
playing that one. Like, I was one of like the best way to like do that or like do that the Pokemon way where like you get one try and you get all the ace Pokemon from one gym and you got like a set of Pokemon.
yeah.
It's just like ideas,
No, that's good. RPGs are tough. I don't know if we have anything RPG.
Yeah, the closest I had was that Paper Mario one, and then we had the graphics problem, so we weren't able to do it. Yeah, the Paper Mario one was going to be you had to beat like one of the secret bosses taking no damage, but you had all the badges in the game, and you could make your own custom build. But unfortunately, Paper Mario was made at the very end of the N64's lifetime, so that means it uses like every graphical trick under the hood that the N64 can do, which makes it very hard to work on these things.
So that was your panel.
Huh?
When do we wrap?
We still have 30 minutes.
Okay. How about the devs each take a turn at their own challenge? Go for it.
Okay. All right.
We'll do a little showcase.
You guys will still use Luo?
Yeah.
make it in time. Yeah. Almost made it, but just had to go up and around the corner.
Oh, this one's also you. Have fun with that one. I'm not sure this one's possible.
No, okay, I'll show how I handle this one, but
Yeah.
the gritty Mario reboot we've all waited for. Yeah, sometimes it's better to take the one hit of health from using your whip instead of taking the 4 hits of health of smacking into the enemy. I don't have to risk it for this guy. Just 2 screens away. There's a little refresh coming up. This screen you have to be careful because the floor will fall out if you land on one of those, but you want to jump over these. And that's how you get to the boss. I have not practiced the boss in a while, though. Yeah, no, I'm out. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why it is an extreme challenge. But yeah, you can, there were a few enemies that I whipped that you could just jump over, and that's how you get the bonus challenge, but it's a bit tricky.
Kyle, do you want to come showcase and embarrass yourself? Sure. Yeah. Yeah, a little tiny screen.
Hi, I'm Kyle. I joined in after coming to this panel last year. It sounded fun. And this first one was mainly just playing around with the controller inputs. I basically void out the buttons that let you shoot and hyperspace and turn on the button that makes you thrust. And it turns it into a completely different game, really. You're not trying to get rid of the asteroids, you're just trying to avoid them. The toughest one about this was getting the score display to act as a timer, which I had to find the right memory values and then overwrite it. And then, it's just about managing your speed, a lot like that. Try one more time. Basically, if you just try and circle around and stay in one place, you will die like that. But basically, if you get going too fast, it becomes really impossible. So you just want to turn a bit. And then when the asteroids hit those annoying UFO guys, then they get smaller and it gets harder as you go. Been a while since I practiced this one. Has anyone managed to do this on the show floor yet? No?
I have not given this one a try yet.
All right. Well, that's passive asteroids. Space Invader, I always thought the most fun part of the game was when you're down to one really fast guy. And it's kind of a targeting test at this point. And one of the fun parts of this, you can see the little score display at the top. That's actually written in Lua. It's not the actual in-game score. You can write over the screen and pretty much do whatever you want with that kind of stuff. So it just does a little text command to show you when you score. This was another one that was a lot like Puzzle Fighter, in that when you look at the memory, there's just this area where all the Space Invaders are right next to each other. And if you just zero everything out, or except for one little guy, then the game really does the rest. And you just use that reset function every time you hit them. And I think I need to get 1,000. And of course I won't be able to hit this last guy. There we go. Yeah, that timer display too, it's totally artificial to the game. It's just a Lua script on top of the emulator. All right, there we go. Thank you. What's next?
Don't worry, I'll fill.
Any other questions while we get the next one? Yeah.
What's the hint for the secret star on the slide again? What counts as a hint? Like, can you tell me where you have to jump from? Because that really bugged me last night.
I'm trying to think of a hint that doesn't just give it away, but
Tell us where it's not.
here, I guess this panel's small enough. I'll just say what?
I know where the star is. I just don't know where to jump from.
Oh,
That's why it's hard.
I mean, I've seen someone do it without the shell, but the shell makes it a lot easier. Like, the highest point you'd probably be able to jump in that giant room from is where you should start looking around.
I took the shell all the way to the top in testing, and I just couldn't find where it was, so you're ahead of me.
Well, if you just jump, okay. Because more than anything, like, I thought you needed the shell, so you have to go all the way on and go all the way back.
Mhm.
If you can jump, then yeah.
I've seen it was a speedrunner though, so they knew the game a lot better. So that's why I gave everyone the shell, just so they'd have a slightly better chance. But I have seen a few people get it, so I know it's not a impossible.
From a straight jump.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
All right. Let's see. Oh, here. So I can tell everyone at the panel about this one. So this one, like I said, it actually changes based on day or night, and see, it actually has the real time. But it would have been very difficult for me to test this if I could only test it at the right time of day. So there is a cheat code to change it from day to night. So I can just hit a button combination. Now it thinks it's nighttime instead. And you can do that too. It is live in the real challenge. I left it in because on the last day of the con, on the last day of the con, I knew people might want to still try both. So just try pressing a few buttons on the controller. You'll probably find how to change that. It's much easier during the day, but this is just an old favorite game of mine. So I knew part of the challenge was just going to be even figuring out what all the buttons do and how you even fight the boss. So that's what the daytime challenge is. And then once you figure that one out, you can come back at night and try and figure out how to survive for the 2 or 3 minutes that you need in order to beat it.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a couple mine here for a second. Mine are, like I said, mine are very simple this year, so they're mostly just annoying. This one's the bonus is to not ever press left. So
This one was really annoying in testing.
yeah, I got really difficult blind to it because like I could basically like one shot it every time.
Oh.
Oh, I pressed left though because otherwise I would have went in the pipe.
Making it look easy.
Yeah, I played it so many times. Yeah. And then this one real quick. This one's long, so I probably won't do the whole thing. This was pretty easy. Lakitu just kind of follows your position. Otherwise, I couldn't get him to stop going off the screen. The shell is just programmed so that if you ever land on it, it goes back into the sliding state. Yeah, I'm not going to play that one. This one's pretty long. And the last one I have is just another endurance test. I don't know. I guess I had a thing about endurance tests this year. I don't know why. As I fail miserably. Yeah.
I'll say while Tim's focusing, one thing you can do in the challenges is also just add a little flourish. So on this one, Tim has a whole ending when the player gets it. And so sometimes just part of the challenge making process can be, when the player's doing it right, how do we make them feel good? So it wasn't there originally. So when I saw the new ending that was added, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I think people are really going to like that and be able to bask in the accomplishment, because when just the game instantly ends the moment you win, sometimes it can feel like, you need to bask in it for a second. So yeah, so this one you get this whole ending. How are you doing that? Just taking control of the
Yeah, I literally have like a for loop that's like hold right, hold left, hold up right.
Just
Yeah.
write your own cutscene
Basically.
in engine.
What's up?
Was there ever a point where you didn't disable the jumping, or just that made it a little bit too? Or actually, no, movement or jumping? Did you ever have that?
Oh, that one. Actually, this one, yeah. You can't move or jump. There's only one button. There's actually kind of.
I think he's saying, was there a version where you could jump?
Yeah.
No. I had this idea for a long time. Actually, so this kind of spawned out of I have a whole idea for like a one button challenge. Like just a medley of games where like you only press a single button. This was kind of spun out of that. But that one is shaping up to be more of like you actually just press the button once, like a timing based thing.
It could be like maybe like a WarioWare thing. Like it'll show you like a scene of a game, and then like you have to press the button at the right time. Like Mario will automatically run.
Well, there is the Smash remix.
Yeah.
Which is
That was
It's
my
a
idea for
classic.
the Smash remix.
It's a great one.
2 years ago now, where
The Meta Knight one is kind of exactly that.
That's
yeah,
true, too.
where I just wanted to see if I could just kind of make my own WarioWare from scratch. All those terrible graphics are all either drawn by me or sprites stolen from X-Men.
they're charming.
Yeah.
I say, like, the Warhammer Challenge and the Mega X Challenge so far my favorite.
Oh, well, I'm glad you like them.
Especially the X one, because I put up the X series.
Yeah, I try to do one Mega Man challenge every other year just because I don't want to completely flood, but I do know people like those a lot. So next year I've got to figure out what the next Mega Man thing will be. I just had an inspiration in the shower this morning where I'm like, what about Mega Man Balatro? Where it's like you got to pick like a plus and minus for like what benefit you get, but also what makes it more difficult. So I don't know. I'm still thinking up ideas.
Oh, you might want to look up this game then, to get an X. If you beat it once, it got like a force mode, and every force succeed, you have to get like a bonus onto the next one. Like can be health recovery, it can be like more damage, can give you like a upgrade you get from the game itself.
Yeah, no,
That might help you.
yeah, it's just a lot of like, again, what's difficult, what's fun, what keeps people invested. So it's just a lot of trial and error.
If you guys haven't yet, definitely try the Sonic Challenge this year too, because there's some real interesting stuff in there that I haven't seen in any others.
That mixed thing's really fun. Like the other year,
Yeah, so for anyone who couldn't hear, he was talking about the Donkey Kong speedrun top banana challenge that we did, where we were giving away trophies for the top 10 times. The problem with that was it was like that was all that happened. One of the reasons why I was trying to get more computers out. If you've been down there, you notice there's a lot more computers. Unfortunately, half of them aren't working yet. Praise to Bezos, he delivers my scanners and we get them up and running. But basically, they just took over the whole area. So this year is a rebuilding year. All the code's new because I'm getting it in a shape where I can do more cool stuff. That speedrun challenge was written in the weekend before the event, like in the entirety. So we're getting more computers this year to try to smooth out all the kinks, and then next year, like I mentioned earlier, we're gonna try to do some cool stuff. Like one idea is that maybe we have some set events, like at this day and time, like Friday night, we block off 10 or 20 of the computers and we run like a crappy game decathlon or something where we pit people against each other. We have some ideas. We might get, if I get enough time, I might do something fancy and do some actual like multiplayer, like. But we have some ideas cooking to do the community thing again, because I did really enjoy that. No one beat my time, by the way.
Humble brag.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're working on it.
Interesting one, have like some like candidates for like 2-player MAGFest challenges. I mean, that'd be complex.
Yeah, like the honestly the most complex thing is that friends are going to want to play with each other and they're going to want to sit next to each other. Like, because we could probably do some like networking to make them talk to each other. This new year, everything is WebSockets in real time. So like the server and the computers are all talking in real time to each other. That's how you get the like feed of everything that's going on in the area. So we could do some crazy multiplayer like networking stuff. That's also a possibility.
Yeah,
So that way you can know to divide, but people that want to do group.
Just have like a couple stations with 2 controllers.
like,
Yeah.
have, like a separate machine for it, like some with 2 controllers and some with 1.
Have to scan 2 people in.
Already, like Kirby
Figure that out.
Amazing Gear is one.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to do that.
We have a bunch of 2-player 1 controller. We don't have any 1-player 2 controller.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Like basically Pokemon, just have like 2 people being like, oh,
Mario Kart 7, 8-player, 2 people on 1 controller.
Okay.
Yeah, this year I have this challenge where it was you have to play as all 4 players at once, and I've seen some people just trying to wrap their head around the buttons you need to press.
That one breaks my brain.
Yeah.
I cannot.
It's always the same buttons. You just commit 15 buttons to memory, and then you're good.
I'm okay when it's just the alternating, but then you have to do the up A, down A, up B,
But-
down V, and I cannot.
Yeah, this challenge I just thought, oh, this will be fun, and it seems to be a lot of people's favorite is just getting Mario and Luigi to stay on those colors. I originally thought, oh yeah, it only goes so fast, so like it can only get so hard, but I rarely see anyone get past 10.
Yeah, so you have to control both.
Wait.
I don't remember how to play it, but you have to control Mario and Luigi.
Oh, hardcore water. No, hardcore water.
Too easy. If it's just white every time,
Cheating.
then
He's
you're
got a
fine.
cheat code. He's got a cheat code.
There's a chance it'll just be white over and over again.
I'm jumping to advance the RNG.
Yeah, once they get a sync,
It's the angle, yeah. The slightly different angles.
and then we also have the Mario Kart one. Like we had a lot of
I've never.
2-player 1 controller. Where's that guy?
That one they get out of sync so quickly.
But yeah, luckily inside of this tool, there's no limitations on like how many inputs can go to a specific button. So you could have like 4 buttons all be A. You could have, the left and right for player 1 is the same left and right for player 2. And we even have a pretty robust controller mapping software that Tim wrote that you could even plug in an Xbox controller and it would still work. You'd have to customize it on our main menu, but then it would work in all the challenges.
Yeah, I used the Xbox controller for testing at home. It was great.
This is one of my favorite Rainbow Roads.
Oh no.
Oh boy, now you're in trouble.
I think I'm out of sync.
No, they're still lined up.
Let's see.
They're far apart, but now you're done.
Now I'm
you're
done.
done.
Now I'm done. Yeah, those are brain busters. That's especially the Mario Party one.
Should we show more of the new ones?
Yeah. Let's see. Here, you do this one because no one's gonna see anyone else beat this one at this event. So you might as well do it now.
Has anyone beat it? Do you have the stats?
Oh look.
If you beat this one, you should just get all the prizes. Just go to the redemption desk and say, I did it. I'm the one. Man.
This is when you get fed up of your friends every 5 minutes being like, I need a bathroom break, I need a snack, I need to check my phone. I'm like, take your turn, then you can go to the bathroom.
Just look at the middle section that they were on. That's
See, I just said on stage how hard this was, and
I
you
just
make it
tell
look
everyone,
easy.
it's just that easy. You really to me the trick is I just know what all the buttons are, so I only have to look at the Mario part. When it gets the first part's always A B. The Yoshi one is the complex one, but it's always up down, and
The Yoshi one always gets me.
But yeah, so if you can get past the Yoshi part, then it's just tapping. So
The other one I saw no one beat. I think only like 2 people beat this all last year.
which one? I didn't see what you clicked.
Oh, I was one of them.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. It took a long time. I love Balloon Fight. It seems like there's only like one pattern that works for this. If you mess up even once, you're done.
Probably. You can make a slight mistake. That was a little bit of a mistake.
Yeah, you really have to manage your height perfectly and you have to know the physics of this game down pat. And they are not natural. Because every time you move forward, you also move up, and sometimes you don't want to be up, like right now.
I actually think. Oh no! I missed one.
Missed
I
one.
missed the left input. I was actually getting those ones that were off the screen.
Yep.
I missed one.
There is a little bit of a gray area off screen. I was close.
Yeah. Those balloons don't move that fast normally in that game. So there's just a 1 byte counter. It's like 0 to 255, and it never goes over 104 in the regular game. And I just bumped it to 255 because it's as fast as it will let it go.
Yeah, the nice thing I find about a lot of these is once you find the right memory address, the game does a lot of the work for you. Like, in Cookie Bobble, this is the bonus game that you can get with an item in most levels. But in, the first few levels, that item never comes up. But they still coded a bonus area for every single level. So I was like, I want to see the bonus level for level 1, level 2, level 3. And so you just force that to on, and they've coded this whole mini game that basically no one has seen. And I was like, okay, well, that should be fun. It's a different way to play Bubble Bobble, the game a lot of people remember.
It's like, that's a great idea. It is not my idea.
And some of them were pretty easy, but then level 2 is very difficult, I found. Even if you're down with the Bubble Bobble controls. Oh.
Okay, we're pretty.
You did not accept cookies.
yeah, I declined cookies. Any last questions? We're almost out of time. No?
You need some milk with those cookies?
Well, thank you everyone for coming. And yeah, like I said, if you have any more ideas or anything, you can either join the MAGFest Slack and join the Super Challenges room, There you can submit ideas. You could even submit whole challenges. We could send you the templates you need in order to make your own challenge, and we'd be happy to have you join.
Yeah, and I'd say don't be intimidated. I never did any Lua scripting before this, and I figured out I had help from these guys with the memory finding, and it was pretty smooth. So you can do it.
All right. Well, hopefully see you down there.
Yeah, and good luck on your challenges.